Hey everyone, welcome back to the Conversation Hub, your favourite space for real talk about life, love, and everything in between. I'm Amelia, and today we're diving into something that's hitting all of us hard these days. Stress. Like, seriously, why are we all so stressed out?
Yeah, is it just me, or does it feel like stress has become the new normal? I mean, between work, deadlines, social media, and trying to stay sane in a world where everyone's hustling, it's like we're all stuck in one never-ending pressure cooker.
Exactly, Will. So, here's the big question we're tackling today. Is it the emails, the constant notifications, or maybe the sneaky expectations we put on ourselves? Or could it be everything? Spoiler alert, it might just be that and more.
Okay, listeners, quick poll. Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimized by your to-do list. Yep, same here. So why don't we take a step back and figure this out together? Let's break down why modern life seems to be chewing us up and spitting us out.
And don't worry, we're not just here to complain. We'll also share tips and tricks to fight back against stress, plus some hilarious moments where we totally failed at managing it ourselves.
So here's a question for you all. And Amelia, I want your take on this too. What's the most ridiculous thing that's ever stressed you out? For me, it's deciding what to watch on Netflix. Like, I'm not kidding. I'll scroll for an hour, end up watching nothing, and feel worse than before.
Oh my gosh, I feel that. For me, it's sending the perfect email. I'll write, rewrite, delete, and then somehow end up sending it to the wrong person. And then I stress about that for days.
Classic. And you, dear listener, we want to hear your most bizarre stress stories too. Hit us up in the comments. We might just feature your story in the next episode.
All right, let's dive into this. Will, do you think our parents or grandparents had it this bad? Like, were they running around stressed 24/7? Or is this just a modern life thing?
Oh, great question. I mean, sure, life wasn't exactly a walk in the park for them. Wars, economic crashes, you name it. But they didn't have phones buzzing every 10 seconds or a million social media platforms screaming for attention.
Right, and it's not just tech either. These days, it's like we're expected to be perfect at everything. You have to be amazing at your job, maintain friendships, cook Instagram-worthy meals, and still find time to meditate for your mental health. It's exhausting.
For real. And let's not forget the sneaky stressors, like comparison. Back in the day, you'd compare yourself to your neighbors or maybe your cousins. Now, you're comparing your life to someone living in Bali who wakes up to a beach every day and somehow runs $1 million business in their pajamas.
And it's wild, because we know it's not real, right? But still, you're there scrolling, thinking, why don't I have abs like that? Why isn't my breakfast that pretty? Why don't I have a private jet?
Here's the thing, though. Did you know that our brains literally aren't built for this? Studies show that humans were designed to handle occasional short-term stress, like running from a predator. But now, with work deadlines, financial pressures, and even choosing what filter to use on a photo, we're stuck in a state of chronic stress. That's when it gets dangerous.
Yep, chronic stress can lead to all kinds of health issues. Insomnia, weight gain, heart problems. And let's be honest, we've all had those nights where stress keeps us up at 3 a.m. replaying the dumbest stuff. Like, did I say something awkward at the meeting? Or, why did I wave at that stranger?
Oh, absolutely. And then you stress about stressing. It's a vicious cycle. But that's why we're here, to figure out what's really going on and how we can fix it.
Okay, time for another interactive question. What's the one thing that stresses you out the most every single day? Is it work, family, finances? Let us know. Drop it in the comments. We want to hear your stories.
And while you do that, here's a fun thought experiment. Imagine a world where stress didn't exist. What would your dream stress-free day look like? Amelia, what's yours?
Oh, easy. I'd wake up in a cozy cabin in the mountains. No emails, no notifications, just fresh coffee, a good book, and zero expectations from anyone. What about you, Willa?
Mine's simple. A beach, good food, great company, and no Wi-Fi, like ever.
Okay, no Wi-Fi is bold, but I respect it.
All right, so we've talked about the problem, but let's get to some solutions. What are some ways to fight back against modern stress? Amelia, what works for you?
For me, it's journaling. I know, it sounds super cliche, but getting my thoughts out of my head and onto paper really helps. Oh, and taking mini digital detoxes. You'd be shocked how good it feels to ignore your phone for a few hours.
For me, it's all about routines. I start every day with a short walk. No phone, just me, my thoughts, and maybe some music. It helps me clear my head before the chaos begins.
And let's not forget humour. Sometimes you just have to laugh at the ridiculousness of it all. Like, if I mess up my eyeliner for the 3rd time in a row, I'll just snap a selfie and send it to Will to roast me.
Oh, she does. And trust me, I deliver.
Let's be real. Sometimes you just need straightforward solutions you can actually use.
Yep, because stress doesn't just disappear on its own, right? You need tools in your toolbox. So let's dive into some other stress-busting strategies that don't involve hitting the gym or downloading a meditation app.
Here's one that might surprise you. Clean up your space. I'm not saying you need to Marie Kondo your whole house, but clearing a messy desk or tidying up your bedroom can actually calm your mind. There's a reason people say clean space, clear mind.
Oh, 100%. I never realized how much my clutter stressed me out until I finally organized my workspace. Plus, it feels like a mini win, and who doesn't love a little boost of accomplishment? Another big one is gratitude. When you're stressed, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong. But taking just a few minutes to think about or even write down what you're thankful for can flip your perspective.
Yes, it's such a small thing, but so powerful. I keep a gratitude journal by my bed and jot down 3 things I'm grateful for every night. It's a game changer, especially on tough days.
Here's a biggie. Set boundaries. Sometimes stress comes from people or situations that drain us. Learning to say no or stepping back from toxic relationships is one of the best things you can do for your mental health.
And that includes work. I know it's hard to unplug, but if you're answering emails or messages at 11 p.m. every night, it's time to draw a line. Your off hours are sacred. Protect them.
Okay, this one's a bit different. Try engaging your senses. Light a candle with a soothing scent, listen to calming music, or even take a few minutes to savor a cup of tea. It's amazing how focusing on simple sensory experiences can help you de-stress.
Oh, yes, I'm a huge fan of essential oils for this. Lavender, eucalyptus, it's like an instant spa day for your brain.
Never underestimate the power of laughter. Seriously, throw on a funny movie, watch some silly cat videos, or call that one friend who always cracks you up. Laughter literally lowers your stress hormones. It's science.
And it's free. Nothing beats a good laugh to remind you that life isn't always so serious. Here's a unique one. Practice deep listening. Whether it's with a friend, family member, or even yourself, take time to truly listen without judgment. It's not only great for relationships, but it also helps you stay grounded and present.
That's so true. Sometimes just hearing someone out, or being heard, can ease so much tension. It's like stress melts away when you feel understood.
All right, we've thrown a lot at you, but remember, you don't have to do all of these at once. Start small, pick 1 or 2 that resonate with you and build from there.
And if you're already trying something that works for you, let us know. We'd love to share your tips with our audience. Because let's face it, we're all in this together.
Let's be real. When was the last time you woke up feeling refreshed? Like, really refreshed?
Oh, you mean those mornings where you spring out of bed with a smile and birds are chirping? Yeah, those don't exist anymore. Instead, we're all just scrolling TikTok at 1 a.m., wondering why we're still wide awake.
Exactly, Will. And the biggest culprit? Stress. It's sneaky, it's relentless, and it's probably why you're tossing and turning every night. But don't worry, we're not just here to point fingers. We're here to help you fix it and sleep like a baby tonight. Sound good? So, we've been talking about stress and how it's basically running our lives these days, but you know what stress loves to mess with the most? Sleep. Yep, that's right. Stress is like that annoying friend who shows up uninvited and ruins the party. 1 minute you're lying in bed, ready to drift off, and the next, your brain is replaying every awkward moment of your life like it's the highlight reel. Sound familiar?
Oh, totally. And let's not forget the stress dreams. Like, why am I suddenly back in school trying to find a classroom I've never heard of? Stress doesn't just ruin your day. It hijacks your night, too.
Exactly. And It's not just about the tossing and turning. Stress does something to your brain that makes it nearly impossible to switch off, which is why we're diving into the relationship between stress and sleep, and more importantly, how to take back control of your nights.
All right, listeners, here's your first task. Think about last night. What kept you up? Was it the what-ifs of tomorrow? That one awkward thing you said at the party last year? Or maybe you just couldn't get comfortable no matter what. We've all been there, and we've got you covered.
And here's the fun part. We'll not only share why stress is ruining your sleep, but we've got easy, actionable tips to help you wind down tonight. Plus, stick around because we'll also share some of the wildest sleep hacks we've tried. Some of them worked, and some were total disasters.
All right, let's start with the science. Did you know stress triggers your body's fight or flight response? So while you're lying in bed trying to relax, your brain's all like, what if there's a tiger? And your heart's racing like you're running a marathon. Not exactly the recipe for sweet dreams, right?
It's crazy how our brains work. And what's worse is how this becomes a cycle. You're stressed, so you can't sleep, and then you're even more stressed because you didn't sleep, and so on. It's like your brain is stuck in a Netflix autoplay nightmare.
Oh, totally. Speaking of nightmares, Amelia, what's the weirdest or most stressful thing that's ever kept you up at night?
Oh, you're going to laugh. Once, I stayed up for hours because I couldn't stop thinking about, drum roll, whether or not I turned off the stove. Spoiler, it was off. What about you, Will?
For me, it's always emails. I'll be lying in bed and my brain goes, hey, remember that email you forgot to send? And then I can't sleep until I write it down. Or worse, get up and actually send it.
Relatable. Listeners, we want to hear from you. What's the weirdest thing that's ever robbed you of sleep? Drop it in the comments section.
Okay, so let's break this down. Why is stress such a sleep killer? Here's the deal. Stress floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone. This makes your heart race, your mind spin, and your body think it's party time. Not exactly ideal for bedtime, huh?
Definitely not. But here's the good news. You can actually trick your body into calming down. Let's talk about some tips that actually work. Will, what's your go-to strategy for beating bedtime stress?
For me, it's a good wind-down routine. I dim the lights, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and listen to calming music. No lyrics, just chill beats. It sounds basic, but it works.
Love that. For me, it's all about breathing exercises. A simple 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. It sounds silly, but it literally signals your body to chill out.
And if you're into apps, try meditation or sleep story apps like Calm or Headspace. Trust me, nothing knocks me out faster than hearing a British guy tell me a bedtime story about trains.
Okay, let's make this interactive. We want to know, what do you do when you're stressed and can't sleep? Do you scroll social media, count sheep, or maybe raid the fridge? No judgment, we've all been there. Share your strategies with us.
And if you've tried something totally weird that worked, like drinking pickle juice or sleeping upside down, let us know. We might even try it ourselves and report back next time.
Oh, and speaking of weird hacks, did I ever tell you about the time I tried lavender spray on my pillow? I went overboard and my whole room smelled like a spa on steroids. It was relaxing, but also gave me a headache.
Oh, that's nothing. I once tried one of those weighted blankets. It was supposed to feel like a warm hug, but it was so heavy I felt like I was being crushed by a bear. Never again.
All right, so here's the takeaway. Stress might be ruining your sleep, but it doesn't have to. Try a few of these tips tonight. Wind down, breathe, maybe even invest in a good bedtime story app and see what works for you.
And remember, it's not about perfection. Some nights will be rough, and that's okay. But with the right tools and mindset, you can make sleepless nights the exception, not the rule.
You know what I think we missed, Will? The impact of what we eat or drink before bed. Like, how many of us are guilty of having coffee way too late in the day and wondering why we're wide awake at midnight?
Oh, totally. I mean, coffee is the obvious culprit, but even things like dark chocolate or energy drinks can mess you up. And don't even get me started on late-night spicy food. Sure, that midnight ramen craving feels great in the moment, but good luck sleeping when you've got heartburn.
Exactly. Pro tip, everyone. If you want to sleep better, keep your dinner light and try eating at least 3 hours before bed. And maybe swap that late night coffee for some chamomile tea or warm milk. It really does work.
Here's another thing people don't always think about. Your bedroom itself. I mean, if your room is cluttered or noisy or your mattress feels like a bag of rocks, it's no wonder you're not sleeping well.
Yes, your bedroom should feel like a sleep sanctuary. I'm talking blackout curtains, a comfy mattress, and maybe even a white noise machine if you've got noisy neighbours, or a snoring partner. Oh, and let's not forget temperature. Research shows that cooler rooms help you fall asleep faster.
Oh, for sure. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, your phone. If you're scrolling in bed, that blue light is telling your brain, hey, it's daytime. One easy hack. Switch to night mode, or better yet, keep your phone out of the bedroom entirely.
Easier said than done, right? But seriously, try it for a week. You'll be shocked at the difference. Another angle we haven't talked about is exercise. Did you know that just 30 minutes of physical activity during the day can improve your sleep quality? But here's the catch. Don't do it right before bed unless you enjoy bouncing off the walls.
Oh yeah, late-night workouts are the worst for sleep. Instead, stick to morning or afternoon sessions. It's like hitting a reset button for your stress levels, and by bedtime, your body's ready to crash.
And don't forget the mental side of things. If you've got a million thoughts racing through your head, try journaling before bed. Just jot down everything that's bothering you. It's like a brain dump that clears the clutter and makes it easier to relax.
Here's another underrated hack. Stick to a sleep schedule. Like, I know we all love to sleep in on weekends, but staying consistent with your bedtime and wake-up time actually trains your body to fall asleep more easily.
Absolutely. It's like teaching your body to know, okay, it's time to wind down now. And hey, if you mess up once or twice, it's no big deal. Just try to get back on track the next night.
Did you know there's actually a sleep whisperer? It's a real thing. People hire professionals to help them fix their sleep habits. One of the weirdest things I read was that some experts recommend wearing socks to bed to improve circulation. Who knew socks could be so powerful?
I've heard of that, and apparently there are weighted sleep masks now too. Like, if a regular eye mask isn't cutting it, just slap on a mask that feels like it's hugging your face.
Okay, I'm intrigued but also terrified. That might be too much hugging for me. Before we wrap up, let's debunk some common sleep myths. First up, the idea that you can catch up on sleep over the weekend. Nope, not how it works, folks. Sleep debt doesn't go away just because you had a Sunday morning lie-in.
Yes, and here's another one. Drinking alcohol helps you sleep. Sure, it might make you fall asleep faster, but your sleep quality will be trash. That's why you wake up feeling like a zombie after a night out.
And let's not forget the myth that older people need less sleep. No, they just sleep differently, lighter and for shorter periods, but they still need around 7-8 hours like the rest of us.
All right, listeners, we've thrown a ton of ideas your way, but now it's your turn. Try just one of these tips tonight, whether it's ditching your phone, adjusting your bedtime routine, or finally investing in a good mattress. And let us know how it goes.
And if you've got your own secret sleep hacks that we haven't mentioned, drop us a message. We'd love to hear them, and who knows, we might just test them out in a future episode.
All right, so what have we learned today? Stress is everywhere, but it doesn't have to take over our lives. With small changes, like setting boundaries, finding time to unplug, and maybe laughing at ourselves a little more, we can start to reclaim our sanity.
Absolutely. And remember, it's okay to not have it all figured out. Life's messy, and that's okay. So go easy on yourself, and let's figure this out together.
That's it for today's episode of The Conversation Hub. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with a friend who needs it, and send us your stories and tips for dealing with stress. We'll catch you next time.
Until then, take care of yourselves and try not to stress about it.